Welcome to the experiment. I'm your host, Joe Sorrell. Welcome, everyone out there that's listening in the morning, afternoon, and evening. A little bit of an impromptu show. I usually go a little bit later than normal here on the Pacific time zone, but my juices were boiling a little bit, and it wasn't just today that they were boiling after the debacle of today's game in LA, but I remember sending out some messages on Friday about how much I hate the Houston Astros. And sometimes when you've been watching sports, when you've been working at something most of your life, whatever it is, something that you're familiar with, you get a premonition. It's, we call it instinct, we call it psychic abilities, we call it a feel, whatever the hell you want to feel it. But there was just something gnawing at me Friday morning. I don't know what it is. I even sent our boy Empire Jeff a message and told him how much I hated the Astros. And I don't think any Dodger fans that I knew thought that what happened this weekend was going to happen. I think if anything, we take 2 out of 3. Maybe we lose a couple close ones, but we still end up winning one. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It didn't get discussed, but I had to calm down. I was initially going to do a show right after the game was kind of as soon as Tanner Scott starts serving up home runs. I think I was like my trigger finger was on, but I didn't want to come on blasting like crazy because I think a lot of times when you do that, you kind of lose your focus on coherency. I usually can control it, but I was pretty pissed off today. More pissed off than I usually look like when I'm doing a show. So and by the way, the assholes who schedule the summer league games, I know it's not their fault. I know they don't give a shit about Dodger baseball, but seriously, come on, both games were, during Dodger games. I'm not going to be watching the California Coast League here. But anyways, I'll get to that when I do the LFP. But Friday, I didn't have a good feeling. Didn't know what it was. Sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's wrong. Most of the time it's right, though. But I cannot stand that team. I mean, I know only that midget piece of shit is still on that team and everyone else is gone. But it's still the Astros. It's still that cheating, entitled, arrogant piece of shit team that should have been stripped of that title. But because all their bitches snitched on each other, they were able to get their little impunity so that they could keep what they wanted to keep. I think that was probably part of the deal Manfred made with them. But what drives me crazy, and I'll use an example that I used actually not too long ago. I think it was last week when I was on Lakers Fast Break. It's a 162 game season, and I understand that. And your team is somewhat beat up, and I get that too. But then at that point, I realized, wait a minute, so are their guys. Oh, and also 2 of their pitchers, whom you got worked by, which was funny because the one pitcher that was actually the best pitcher out of their crew, they actually ended up getting 4 runs out of. So that's baseball, I guess, right? But you had a guy that was pitching just under 5, and another guy pitching just under 6 in terms of total ERA. Yet you got shut down by those guys. So all this, we're hurt and we got to use a bullpen game. And by the way, Sheehan, God bless you, man. If it wasn't for you, I think all the games would have been a blowout, to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't consider the second game that they lost 6-4 a close game. I thought that was a game that was pretty much in the bag by the 4th inning just because of the way the Dodgers were playing. But I mean, I out of 162 games, sorry, guys, I lost you there. I'm asking to give it. Can we give a shit a little bit? Can they give a shit a little bit during a 162 game season? And can you give a shit a little bit when when you're playing a team like the Astros? That's kind of what I'm looking at here. I mean, everything has to be for the end game? Can't we at least somehow play? Because I don't know. I sometimes think to myself, maybe I'm just not part of what's going on in today's world. I don't think maybe the same way maybe regular people do. I don't know. Maybe not give a shit. Maybe think about, oh, well, let's think about tomorrow. Let's think about tomorrow. Let's think. Would it have killed this team to play hard this weekend and then maybe take the next 3 days? Like, I'd rather have gotten swept by the Milwaukee Brewers than this fucking team. Where's the pride in this? Is it just because that Bellinger's not here and Barnesy is not here? Is it? I guess Clayton is not really pitching, so it doesn't matter. Like, what about you? What about you, the manager? Like, aren't you guys still pissed? Why is it that I feel like I'm the only one on an island here that gives a shit? And the other thing is, you might face this team should you make it to the World Series. Why are you setting the precedent now? You should. I would like to think you should send a message. They didn't just lose. Like, if they had lost 2-1, 3-1, 4-3, I still would have been pissed, but maybe I would have given them a little bit of a leeway. But 18-1, 5-1 in 2 of the 3 games, you scored 2 runs while they scored 23 runs on you at your place. Where's your freaking heart, man? Where's your balls? That's the question I have. Where are your balls? Does it really not matter that much? You can't lose like that, especially to these pieces of shit, letting that freaking midget go off on you again, over and over again. Throw him one in the hip. Throw one in the back. Make him think about it. And Christian Walker, when are you going to start using that guy as a bulletin board with some darts? Where are your balls? This is the series you show it. You showed it in the first 2 games against the Yankees. And then I remember, and this is just maybe my greed. I don't know. But then you have your best pitcher on the mound on that Sunday and you get your ass whooped. Like, those little things really piss me off. They really, really piss me off. And I know the Dodgers are the champs. I know they're the champs. But let me just tell you this. Anyone in baseball can win that in a year if everything lines up. And I'm not saying that's how it worked last year. The Dodgers came through when it mattered, when it was really hot for them, down 2-1 and trying to see if they can get out of San Diego with a win. I'll give them that, obviously. And I'll give them how they finished it off. And I'll give them how they finished off the Mets, who were the hottest team since May, June, whatever of last year. And I'll give it to them that they beat the Yankees in New York. But I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about a dynasty. I'm talking about a team that imposes their will on everything that's not good. And that's the Houston Astros. They're a piece of shit organization. And they always will be, in my view, for what they did. They ruined legacies. One in particular, the guy that's still on your team, got shafted out of a World Series MVP, another World Series, and has got the choker moniker because of that series. Because it continued. It didn't go all the way. So, I don't know how long I'm gonna. I guess I don't know how long I'm gonna just rag on this, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking for therapy right now with all you guys. I don't know. I really don't know. But I couldn't even think about watching. I had the replays on the summer league games. I was going to watch them. I couldn't because I couldn't concentrate. I tried watching a movie, didn't last 5 minutes. I had to go shower before I did the show. I just felt dirty. I needed something to clean something out. Like, I couldn't figure out. Couldn't watch a movie. Couldn't go outside and do something. Couldn't focus. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do a show. See if I can get it on here. Maybe get some feedback from it. I don't know. I don't know. Because at the same time, I'm sitting here going, well, what are we upset about? We're the second best team in the majors in terms of record by 1 game. We're only out 1 game. That's not the point, though. And that's actually is the point. You're the best team in the majors, and you let the Astros come to your house and not just beat you in 3 games, whooped your ass. After all that's gone on with these guys since 2017, after all that, 6 of the last 7 games they've lost like this. 6 of the last 7 games they've lost to these fuckers. I was thinking about going swimming, but then that takes on a whole different thing. I get in the pool, I'm in there for 2 hours. Plus, my back's peeling. I've been outside too much. I don't. At this, I think there's too many games in baseball, man. I mean, again, this is the first time. This is the first time in my life that I've gone through every game. The most games I've ever watched was 2022. It was around 140 games. I've never watched every single game in a baseball season. As much as I've followed the Dodgers my life, it's a very hard thing to do, to watch every single 3-hour game 6 days a week for 6 months. It's a challenge when you're a busy person, but I've managed to make it work. I've managed, I know that technology has allowed it to happen a little bit easier now versus if it was 10 years ago. But honestly, Blue, that's a great question. Honestly, this Astros team, I hate them more than I hate the Celtics, and that might be because I actually like Jaylen Brown and I like their organization and who they run, like Brad Stevens. Like, I really like Brad Stevens. I think he's one of the best executives in the business, if not top 2 for sure, right? And of course, how can you not like Jason Tatum? And you got, well, he's not playing there anymore, but Al Horford, like the Al Horfords, like those guys are not guys that you normally would want to dislike. It's not like Cedric Maxwell or Kevin McHale back in the day, or Paul Pierce or Kevin Garnett or Ray Allen. This Houston team is a pimple on my ass every year. I can't stand every time I hear the term. Every time I hear Astros, my fist balls up. And this was the worst thing that could have happened this weekend. Totally put a shit dent on on the entire year so far. It's just I can't understand it. How is it that some schmuck like me in the middle of nowhere gives a shit, and it looks like they don't give a shit? And of course, they're going to come back out and say, "Oh no, we give a shit," and injuries and this and this and that. Man, fuck that. Fuck all that. Play hard. Everyone play hard. Everyone go another level. Play this freaking weekend like they did. They were swinging at everything and hitting. Why can't you? You have the best players on the planet on this team. They had 2 shitty pitchers pitching in 2 of the 3 games. You couldn't shellac those guys at your crib with Shohei, with Freeman, with Mookie, with Teo. Don't give me that shit. This is the day. This would have been the day to have Tommy Lasorda in his prime come in front of Dave Roberts, in front of Mark Pryor, all that whole place. What the fuck was that? You guys look like you laid down like a bunch of freaking whores. You didn't even try. And if you did try harder. That's like, legend, that's like saying, would you rather die from drowning or burning? Both equally horrible. Absolutely horrible. The issue with basketball is the Lakers are a championship off from the Celtics. So maybe they win out a little bit more because of the longevity. But the pain would be the same. The pain would be the same. I don't even know how I could distinguish that. I wouldn't go that far yet, Michael. If you saw him pitch yesterday, you'd realize how great that mother, is. He's having a little bit of a slump. This happens in baseball. But I'm not going to go there yet with Ohtani. I don't know if he's wearing out. I don't know if he's not seeing the ball. Baseball, sometimes that happens. And then what you'll see is after the All-Star break, he'll start hitting home runs every other day. No, it's not too many games. It's not. It's not. There's not too many games. These guys are getting paid on the average. What is the average salary in Major League Baseball now? $10 million, $8 million each? No, no. These guys have enough pampering in their time to not have to worry about, oh, shoot, there's too many games. No, the games are fine, okay? The Yankees in 96, 98, 99, 2000, when they won 4 out of 5, they were playing 162 games. Why can't they do that? Why can't the Dodgers do it? Why can't any teams do it? Sunday, I don't know. That's not my department. I don't get paid to figure out who should go where. I'd like to think that when Ohtani is leading off, you're essentially telling the starting pitcher that you got to worry right out of the gate. And then on top of that, you got you got the real leadoff guy after that. And then you have, in my view, the best hitter I've seen in our generation in Freddie Freeman, especially in the clutch. So you start Ohtani, Mookie, and Freeman usually in the first 1, 2, 3. I think that's a pretty good way to start. But these guys have to come through, right? Muncy being out's not helping. He was carrying this team while the top 3 weren't doing well. But you know, it's not like Rojas didn't come in and do what he was supposed to do yesterday. What's the excuse then? He was hitting home runs. He was getting RBIs. He did essentially what Muncy would have done. Muncy would have hit for an RBI. Muncy would have hit a home run. They still did that yesterday, and they still lost. So I can't go with the Muncy thing. I can't. It's a mentality, man. It's a mentality. Team has too much talent for this to happen. There's too much depth. And I'd like to think that after what happened last year, you would get so hardened in moments like this. Like, this is the Astros. This is a different series in my view. You don't want to come up for the Angels series? I mean, I was pretty irritated by that too. But it didn't bother me like, oh, shit, you know, we lost to the Angels in a sweep. Yeah, it bothered me, but it's the Angels. What the hell? The Angels aren't going to do anything. This is the Astros. I want these motherfuckers in the fucking World Series, and I want to beat these guys. You got to set the table now. You got to set the table now. Yes, it matters. Probably just for me, right? But this is the 5th. I'm gonna go back to, what was it, 2023, I think. Let me look at this here real quick. So since 2033, Dodgers won 8-7, barely beat them. Astros then won the next game 6-5. Then the Astros beat them 5-0. Astros win by 1 run after that in 2024. Dodgers win 6-2 in the second one. And that was it, right? And then this year we have the sweep. Like, it's a constant irritation of losing to this team, and it just doesn't seem like anyone gives a shit. They should. Dave Roberts should give a shit. But Kasperius was reeling a little bit even before Friday's game. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just blowing off steam here. I think I'm just blowing off steam deep down, maybe, or maybe I'm just arguing with myself. I'm hitting my head on the wall of something that's never going to exist again. I wonder if that's what it is. Maybe I'm out of. Maybe I don't belong in this time. I don't. Older I get, the more I'm asking myself that. Is this because I just don't remember. I don't remember. I remember the Dodgers really coming up short in the 90s to the point where it was nauseating. But you had to kind of understand what was going on back in the 90s. You had a transition with the O'Malleys, a great ownership of the O'Malleys, transitioning to Fox. Fox not knowing their ass from their ear, trying to organize a baseball team. They end up trading the best player they have for nothing. And then no matter how many rookies of the year they had that whole decade, they end up losing every freaking series in the 90s. They don't win one damn series in the 90s. Not one motherfucking series in the 90s. Imagine that. You have 5 rookies of the year. 5. Half the freaking decade, you had the best player coming out that his first year. And it resulted in nothing. Not even one playoff series. Then you go to the 2000s. Fox sells them Frank McCourt. They have a little run in 08 and 09. That's about it. Thank God for Manny Ramirez. And then we find out who that asshole really was. And then 2012 comes in. The Guggenheims take over. I didn't know who the Guggenheims were. I didn't know what the hell they were going to do. I thought they were just another billionaire company. I don't know. I mean, I knew who the Guggenheims were. I always remember them from that scene in the Titanic, right? And then they start winning. They actually start winning series, and they're losing series they should win, though, like barely. And then they finally stop blaming. Oh, they start blaming Don Mattingly for being a mad manager. Then they get Dave Roberts in there, and then the rest is history. Bottom line is, I am not good at losing like this, especially when it comes to a specific team. I can't handle it. Like it eats my stomach up. Even that third loss against the Yankees was bothering me. I wanted a sweep. You had your best pitcher on, and it's always the same response. It's always the same response. Oh well, it's not that important. It's not that important. It's important to fucking me. It's important to me. It's important to a lot of us. Why don't you put the dagger in these fuckers? You're already playing out there. You're already giving your best effort, right? Win the game then. I don't like it. Don't like it. I don't like anything anywhere anymore. I don't like this lackadaisical, sucky ass loser mentality from everybody. I don't like it. And I never will. And you know what? It was festering and boiling today, and I'm off. I'm done. I'm not gonna hold it in anymore. I'm done. That's it. Fuck all that. You got 162 games. How about play hard against the teams that you should play hard against? Beat the fucking Cubs. Beat the Astros. Beat the Yankees. Put them in the ground. You want to take a little bit of vacation against the Colorado Rockies, the White Sox, lose 1 out of 3 games? I'll get that one a little bit. But why can't you play these fuckers the same way? Think of them as the White Sox. Whoop their ass. Impose your will. You have the talent. Your bench can start for half the 90% of the teams out there. A lot of times it's not just about playing ball. Sometimes you got to get into that dugout. You got to get into that freaking clubhouse and go, get your asses in gear. Whoop these guys. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. When's the last time a team with back-to-back Joe winning World Series? It was the Yankees in 1999 and 2000. And it's interesting enough, you look at that team. You had Bernie Williams, you had the Scott Brociouses, and you look at the Bernie Williams, the Scott Brociouses, you Tino Martinez. You obviously have the Hall of Famers, Andy Pettitte, Rivera, Posada, and of course the captain. The captain. I was watching him last year doing the post-game, pre-game stuff for the World Series, right? Because he's Mr. Yankee. And every time the Yankees lost, it looked like something was eating himself alive. We don't have those guys anymore. We don't have those guys are rare, man. That's the Tiger Woods, Michael, Kobe, Jeter, like those guys. I don't identify with anyone that's not like that. I just don't at all. That's what I grew up with, and that's the thing I struggle with. I grew up with that. I grew up with Michael and Kobe and Jeter, like in my prime. This is who I was watching play sports. Guys who really gave a shit. Guys who were obsessed with winning. So I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way. And you know, it's not even that. Those guys enhanced what was already there. I've always been a sore loser. You can ask my cousins. We go bowling. I lose. I'm fucked up. I'm all over the place. I hate myself. I hate the bowling alley. I want to rip everybody's face off. I hate fucking losing. And worse than losing, I hate losing to somebody I fucking hate. And I can't do anything about it. I got to live vicariously through these guys, right? That's the whole point. Look, legend, listen. When you stack your team the way the Dodgers did this last offseason, that excuse goes out the window too. This team has to win back-to-back. They don't win back-to-back. They failed. They failed miserably. Maybe failed worse than any loss in the, let's just say, in the Dave Roberts era since 2016. They have to win back-to-back. Now, if they don't three-peat, I'll buy that one a little bit because winning 3 in a row is fucking hard. But this team, with this talent, with the upgrades they made in the offseason, you better win back-to-back. You better win back-to-back. There's no excuse. So Espada's decision, like trusting Valdez in crucial late innings and bringing in Hader for a clean 4+ winning to save the Dodgers off plans. Well, honestly, I don't know if any of that worked, or it's just the Dodgers suck monster ass. They suck against every pitcher except for Valdez for what, 3 innings? That's about it. They didn't do shit against anyone the entire game. They scored 2 goddamn runs in 2 of the 3 games. 6 runs in 3 games. That means they scored 2 damn runs on the average at home against a piece of shit organization that has been just that ruined them. That ruined them. And continues to fester over and over again in their existence. It's like letting the piece of shit cheating bully constantly bully you around. All in the name of, it doesn't matter, Joe. It's July. You don't think this is going to carry over if they do meet in October? You don't think they're going to come back and say, "Oh man, we whooped your ass at your pad, man"? All we're going to need to do, especially if the Dodgers have home field, all we got to do is whoop you once at home, and you're toast. Your psyche will start catching up to you again. This is when you set the stage. This is the fucking series you take seriously. This series you take seriously in July. And it's July. It's not April either. It's fucking July. You're going to get your rest in a week. How about playing hard on this one? How about play hard on this one? How about give a shit for this one? Joe, I understand how you feel. You just want to see some passion, competitiveness, and some fire from this team. A pitcher should throw one right behind it. The thing is, I'm gonna use an example here. I don't want to use him as an example because he's a piece of shit too. I was going to use the Brett Favre explanation on when he went to Minnesota, and every time he played the Packers, he whooped their ass. So I'll use another example. When Shaq came back, when Shaq played Orlando, after he left Orlando, it was like every year it was 2-0, 2-0, basically. Like Shaq really brought it to them, right? There's another example. Dang it! I got to remember this. but I'll get back to you when I remember. Phil Jackson would get in his players' faces when necessary. So Phil Jackson, what made Phil Jackson great was he just knew psychology so well. And another guy that was actually got a degree in it, which was Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, guys like Jimmy Johnson, guys like Phil Jackson really knew the psychology of people, and he knew how to tap into that stuff so well to get people riled up. And this is again what happens when the player who's got it all meets the guy that's guiding them is a guy that's perfectly in line with that player. There is no one on this team that I feel that gets up in anybody's face. Just there's never has been. And I think that's something that's not discussed enough. I think if there was one, I think that maybe some of these games that the Dodgers have lost over the years, maybe they're not the same. But I can't go back into that. I'm focused on right now. I'm focused on right now. I don't want to think about what happened before. But but this one team, it's not over though. It's never been over because there's a trophy that belongs in LA that's not there. There's a World Series MVP that's not in Clayton Kershaw's trophy case, and that was a that was a residual. So you think that there would be some angst. You know, Joe Kelly doing what he did, he wasn't even involved. And Joe Kelly is like that. He wasn't even involved with that team. Matter of fact, his team cheated in 2018. So I wasn't impressed. That whole Carlos Correa, I never really talked about it. I wasn't impressed. I'm like, Joe Kelly, you cheated too. Now, I give maybe Boston a little bit of a leeway because they gave us Mookie Betts for 4 quarters and a freaking penny. Maybe that calmed me down a little bit because since we've gotten Mookie, we've gotten 2 titles. So I'm like, all right. At least they gave back a little bit, right? It's not enough. It's not enough. Just like in 2010, everyone thought I was nuts. How the hell you cheer for the Celtics? There's something wrong with you. I'm like, fuck that. Then fuck the Celtics. I want them in the finals. I want revenge for 08. I want it. A lapse, a 10-minute lapse in that series cost the Lakers a three-peat. Cost Kobe 6 titles. How else am I supposed to react? It's not just winning a championship sometimes. It's who you beat. Because there's legendary status that comes with it. Now, I'm living it as a fan. I'm living it as a fan. I'm not living it as a player, but it's the same reason. As much as I love the 09 title, just because that year was the revenge tour, did you really feel that title like you felt 2010? No. Of course not. Who gives a shit about the Orlando Magic? And back in 02, when the Lakers swept the shit out of the New Jersey Nets, was pretty much a waste of time. They should have just given the trophy to the Lakers after they beat Sacramento. You know who was up 2-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals in that year? Yeah. Lost out on that one. That was a bummer. Especially game 3. I think at that time they came back from like 16 or 17. It was like the largest deficit in NBA history in terms of the playoffs to come back from. I wanted the Celtics then. Imagine if the Lakers had played the Celtics. That would have been a 4 or 5 game series. Would have whooped them in the finals. The 76ers the year before, yeah, that kind of came out fine. Milwaukee took the Sixers to 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. I was like, Milwaukee, Ray Allen, I'd rather play the Sixers. I'd rather beat Philly, especially Philly, because Philly's got some of the shittiest fans, if not the shittiest fans in sports. So whooping their ass was good, especially after what they did to Kobe at the All-Star game. In 2000, I was cheering for the Knicks to beat Indiana, although I didn't think Indiana was going to lose to the Knicks. But I wanted the LA Laker, Nick. Fine. Why? Why? Because the Knicks have only won. Well, no, that was when they were. Wait, they were another team back in the 50s. I don't know. I don't know. I've been off all day today. I've been off since Friday morning. I knew this shit wasn't feeling good. I didn't think they were going to get swept, but I think what got me going was I knew they weren't going to play well, and I knew they were going to pull some bullshit. And certain fans are going to be pulling some bullshit. Not fans. See, I'm caught between two types of fans in the LA Dodger like muck. Okay, I got the ones that are so positive I want to fucking yak, and then you got the dumb shits who every time a relief pitcher in the sixth inning gives up a run, they're swearing off Dave Roberts to fucking hell. Like, can you relax? Not every relief pitcher is going to go 1, 2, 3. Like, there's a difference between someone not motivating or not thinking right versus just playing the damn game. The managers can't control that sometimes. They can't control Vesia serving up a grand slam when you throw him in there when there's bases loaded already. And how many pop-ups did they have tonight? Never put small ice in anything like this. All you're doing is trying to avoid the damn ice. Fuck, can barely drink the damn water. But I digress. Don't get punked. There you go, Michael. Thank you. Why'd you get punked? Fuck that you lost. Why did you allow yourselves to get your ass whooped? You're the LA Dodgers, man. You're the champs. You're the best record in the major leagues Friday. You were whooping everyone's ass, winning every series. How do you let this team whoop your ass at home? I don't. Yeah, Abraham, that's a good one, by the way. I see what you did there, bud. If I had him, hey, look. Hey, when something's funny, I don't care what the material is, as long as it's not, hurting kids or something. Just that's funny. That's a funny comment, and it broke the ice. It broke the ice. That was good. That was a good one. That was good. Intel, PayPal, Joe for sure. No, it's okay. Guys, okay, here. A little more information on how my brain works. First of all, I don't drink to escape. I get angry. My anger is my release. Drinking the new shit. To me, drinking is about a good time. And in Intel's situation, it's to bring money to the business. I don't drink in despair because I'm a happy drunk. When I do get drunk, I can usually stop it right around the heavy fade. No, I'm sorry. It's usually around the light fade, highly buzzed area. That's usually where I can sit. No, that area is still an area where you cannot drive, right? Like, I've driven when I've had like 3 beers and you can kind of feel it there a little bit. But I'm talking about when you know you're highly, highly buzzed and it's starting to fade in to the fade. I want to get drunk with you. Mark, listen, man. Uh, I'm gonna really, really try hard to get to your place next year. I really, really am. I got to do some traveling, man. I haven't traveled anywhere. And now you between you and Vari, I have an excuse to get to Australia. So I'm gonna plan on coming over there. I have friends of mine that want me to go to the Philippines. I'm not really like I don't like third world countries, even though there's some first world things in those places. Usually, I don't like going to those places. I don't like how they operate. Hell, friends of mine went to Europe, and there was a couple things they told me about France, and I was like, "Fuck that! I ain't going to France." Now, eventually, I will go to France because I love history and I do want to see some of that stuff. But it's got to be the right like time where it's first class and good hotel rooms and all that shit. I ain't gonna schlep my way around there. I got to make sure I have control over that. Maybe if I do a film and it's in the Cannes Film Festival or something, where we're there for a party, and then maybe it would make sense. But I'm gonna see if I can get over there next year. I think it's time. It's time I get out of the States a little bit and start looking around for some things. If you come down under honestly, man, I'll take time off. We will have a great time. It would mean the world. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I just want to let me just put some things together here, Mark. I'll make it work. That was a good one, Abe. I love shit like that, man. That's funny. It's a good thing you said it, Abe, because since you said it, the ice went away. But yeah. So Dodgers right now are going to be going to Milwaukee, and I don't know. I don't know where they're at right now. Edmund apparently has a broken pinky toe, and he's not going to go on the IL. They might just let that heal. Teo hit the ball off his foot. I guess he got jacked up a little bit. I heard maybe it might be good to sit Otani down for maybe a game just to kind of let him rest. I don't know if Otani gets told what to do. I think Otani might be one of the few guys in baseball where no one tells him to do anything. I mean, even the pitching thing, I think, is to some degree, he's a good teammate. He's a good listener to the higher ups. But anything else, I don't think unless he wants to sit, I don't think they're going to sit him. Oh wow, Sunday, Joe Mount Rushmore of LA icons. Wow, oof. Are we talking about just sports? Sunday? That sounds like all of LA. That's going to be a tough one if it's all of LA. Oh wow. Jeez. I gotta really think about this one. LA. That is a crazy good question. This is like trying to pick who the best four are in Laker history. Like this, it's impossible to pick the right ones. But who was? I mean, I think you have to put Hugh Hefner in there. I think. I mean, his publication started, I think, in Chicago though. It's not really L.A. He came to L.A. when kind of everything hit. So I don't know. Maybe that might not be a right one. Dr. Buss came from elsewhere as well. I mean, you're gonna have to go to who's the movie stars that are gonna be known for LA. Jeez, damn, that's a good one. I mean, you can say Magic. You could probably say Magic and Kobe 2 out of the 4 right out of the gate. I think that would definitely be. I don't think anybody would argue that. That is true, Search. Wyatt Earp did live in LA, died in LA in 1929, but I don't know if he'd be LA. Geez, I gotta really think about this one. Hmm. It's got you gotta we gotta put a movie star in there, don't you think? Which actor, which performer is LA? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I can't believe I didn't even think about this. Jack Nicholson. So right now you're looking at Kobe, Magic, and Jack Nicholson. Yeah, yeah. Jack Nicholson for sure. Um, I think Steven Spielberg. I don't I don't know if Brando was an LA guy all the way, was he? Spielberg, I think, was LA pretty much from the beginning. I here's my four guys. It's Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Jack Nicholson, and Steven Spielberg. That was a hell of a question, man. That was a great one. OJ probably would have been, but he was from the Bay Area originally too. Didn't really spend a lot of time in LA though. Most of his career was in Buffalo. With Kobe and Magic being the exceptions that they weren't from LA, they were in LA from beginning to end. And then you look at Spielberg and you look at Jack Nicholson. Those guys embodied LA. Like Jack Nicholson was, I think, from New York, but he made his career for 50 years in LA. Like that was his. Like he came to LA like Kobe and Magic, right? And he's Hollywood. He's the Hollywood guy. He's the LA guy. And Spielberg is the LA director, LA producer. I don't think you can get more iconic than that. You could have maybe put in Elizabeth Taylor in there too. She has an argument in Hollywood. Uh, I mean, O'Malley came from New York, though, right? Was he L.A.? To me, you got to embody the heartbeat of L.A. Dr. Bus had some. Dr. Bus could be put there too, but I don't know if Dr. Bus is bigger than Kobe and Magic, and I don't know if you can get more L.A. than Jack Nicholson and Steven Spielberg. I don't think that's there, and I do think that. I mean, Dr. Bus was kind of considered the Hugh Hefner of sports, but Hugh Hefner would probably have to go ahead of Jerry because he was more Hollywood, more LA. But that's I don't know. I'm pulling at strings on that one. I don't know how to. I wouldn't. I don't know. I think the four I picked are pretty good. I don't think there's a lot of people that argue that, but Elizabeth Taylor has some room in there for that. I think Elizabeth Taylor could could maybe supplant either Magic or Kobe. No, not Tupac. Tupac wasn't from LA. Yeah, I think Elizabeth Taylor is like the fifth one that could be one of the four. I didn't know who Nipsey Hussle was until he died. I'm sorry, but I just didn't. I Search. I'd rather Howard Hughes was too whacked out to be LA. I don't know. I'm trying to pick the guys that are actually still kind of normal, maybe. The number one place to party back, I'd say, for the majority of LA's existence and what it is, or its rep was at least, it was probably the Playboy Mansion. That was probably the place to party. And that's what that scumbag was trying to do for years, was try to create that same, like, he tried to be the hip hop version of Hugh Hefner. The problem is he was, yeah. DiCaprio was born in LA. You could say he's one of those guys that's LA. I think DiCaprio has a space there. Let me look at something here real quick. Let me see. So he was born in LA. I mean, yeah, DiCaprio has a he has a Bob Hope. Hold on, let me see where Bob Hope is from. Bob Hope Airport. I said Bob Hope, not his airport. Bob Hope was born in England. I didn't know that. But he did die in Toluca Lake at 100. Bob Hope has an argument for, like, just entertainment. But I think DiCaprio, in terms of from beginning to end, I'd say, yeah, you might be able to, you might probably have to put him in there, because he's actually born in LA, became a movie star, played the whole movie star thing, and still continues to do it, and that's kind of how it is. Johnny Carson, don't know where Johnny is from. Let me check. Johnny was from Iowa. Good old Johnny. Don Rickles. Don Rickles was a New Yorker. All these guys died in LA, by the way. Don Rickles died in LA. Johnny Carson died in LA. Bob Hope died in LA. I don't know. Was Walt Disney from where was Walt Disney from? Walt Disney. He was from Chicago. He had died in Burbank. Everybody, LA, where everyone comes to die. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for hearing me rant a little bit here. My plan was to maybe have a show tomorrow to commemorate the next phase of Dodger baseball with something of some positiveness, but I had to get on here and let loose a little bit before I get probably to the LFB to talk a little basketball, if I go that route anyways. But again, I want to thank you all for being here. This was supposed to be just an hour show, just to kind of get my willies off and see anybody that's new in the area that would like the show. Again, guys, I usually have a little bit more substance here, and usually we go a little bit longer, but I did want to get and I feel so much better too. Again, thanks for being a springboard for me, guys. Again, we might do some things for the All-Star game. I haven't yet figured that out yet. Kershaw got voted in as the legendary pick. Something that I think I couldn't stop laughing when I heard that. I don't know if that probably added to my irritation a little bit. Like, at what point is society going to stop with this participation bullshit? I love Kershaw as much as anybody, okay? He's a Dodger legend. But you all got to make a legendary pick now? Seriously? You're going to make someone a legend every year? That's supposed to be special. Kershaw is a legend. But who's a legend besides Kershaw? What, Justin Verlander? Who? Mookie Betts, if he doesn't get in? Like, what is this? Can we stop with the awards for every freaking thing? Oh, this guy stepped over here once. Now let's give him an award for it. So, anyways, I had to end that with more frustration. But thank you all for being here tonight on the experiment. If you haven't liked, subscribed, and clicked on that little notification button, please do so. The show has just started. It's only 4 months old, and the production value will continue to go up as I keep building the channel. And I build the channel by doing what I'm doing now as much as I can, because I do have a crazy life, and baseball sometimes isn't as exciting as it is, let's say, basketball, or what will be coming very, very soon, especially on a weekly basis, which is football. Football is going to be fun on here. I guarantee. If you guys like football, you're going to love the show. But we're still going to talk football. We're still going to talk basketball. We're still going to talk baseball no matter what. And we talk other sports as well. And of course, life things like we just did with the Mount Rushmore of LA. So with that, have a good morning. Have a good afternoon, a good evening, wherever you are. And until next time, I'll see you next time.